Hello everyone, my name is Joe Scorsone, channel is called Scorsone Enterprises, and today is a video all about the most recent things I've been doing. So it's kind of an update and also showing you guys some indicators that I made, two of which are open source, one of which is not out yet but will be open sourced totally for free, and the other one is a script I added to my LuxAlgo creator page. So yeah, we're going to dive right into the indicators, and then I'm going to give you guys an update about pretty much where I'm at with ideas that I have, where I'm at in coming out with stuff for you guys, and just yeah, how everything is going to move forward. So I'm going to show you guys. Where's my face? There it is. I'm going to show you guys my trading view charts. I'm gonna leave this open so that way I can flip between tickers. Because all these indicators will be on trading view. So let's go. I'm going to start with my LuxAlgo one first. So this super trend looking thing is not a super trend at all. It just kind of happens to look like that, and I like that. I like that it does look like that because it's familiar. Like if we throw a super trend on the chart right here, right, it looks super similar, but it's not a super trend at all. This is my machine learning indicator. You can see here I named a neural network because it is a neural network, but it's not your typical neural network, right? It is done in a way that is way more contextual to quantitative finance and towards just this non-normally distributed thing we call the stock market. I'm not going to give the sauce entirely because there's a lot of smart people out there. I'm not gonna underestimate you guys' intelligence by giving you a lot of detail about how it works. But I will tell you that the law of large numbers does not apply to the stock market. So just because your data set is bigger doesn't mean you're going to have a better prediction. That's all I'm going to leave you guys with. But if you guys want videos about, if you guys want to see me backtesting this in a way that I actually think gives you guys some sort of information about it, because backtests are not marketing, and I don't even really care about backtest performance. I just wanted to kind of validate my market idea. But I gave you guys a backtest to kind of see how good can the goods be, how good can the goods be, how bad can the bads be, based off of different risks trading on different time frames. The time frame shouldn't really matter. It should just be proportional to the risk. But yeah, this is that. You can see the magnitude, the prediction right there too. If you hover over it, it functions the same as the other videos I put out upon it. It just looks a little bit prettier now. Next is the SCE convergence indicator that I just recently came out with. And I'm going to give you guys something for free. I'll give you guys Apple levels for free. See? Okay, cool. So now if you're on the edge about subscribing to this, come back in a month and look at where Apple is. If it's above that, give me a chance, right? Fair? Deal? Okay, cool. Because these levels are generated from a similar engine to this one, right? The way that it works, I gotta be careful I don't click on this. The way that it works, it clusters a number of different predictions. So kind of two forms of machine learning in one. My face is above that. Two forms of machine learning in one. So the number of clusters right here, as we change this, the line should change a little bit. You can see there's loading. There we go, changes a bit. I have it on 3, just so it's not doing too much. And of course, we could adjust the learning rate. Epochs, I keep the learning rate kind of high because we're low on epochs because it's on trading view, right? I don't want to loop for too long. But we can then change the line count and the line persistence here. What is line persistence? Well, these lines will exist for a certain amount of time guaranteed, right? So if I increase the line persistence, then we should get lines from, see, then the lines change. And then if I change the line count, of course, then the ones from further back in history should disappear. There it is. But line persistence, this is a better way to say it, line persistence is like the interval in which they'll be calculated. So they could absolutely stay the same. Like if I change it down to 3, they should probably get a little bit more, exactly, a little bit more close to the beginning. If I make this larger, then the interval will be greater. They'll be calculated on less bars, right? So now we have 12. So if we wanted to get it calculated for, I'm going the wrong way, for every bar, like just one at a time, a new calculation every single bar, then we could just set the line persistence to 1. The only way that could get strange is if you're on a lower time frame, right? Because then you really kind of don't have anything to go by. Let's show you guys a replay here on Apple on the 2-minute. Let it load. There we go. If you have the line persistence as 1, then you see, then you really you don't have much to go off of. You know, you get a level per bar. But if we increase this, I think I have the default as 5. Right then, you could actually let it rock out. Okay, we rejected off that, and we see it interacting with levels for a little bit. You can see little bounces. You can see little areas that it struggles with. You always pretty much have a line around this area. And let's see if it even goes above it at all in the day. You could potentially use it like that. Still rejecting around this level, getting just tons of lines around there, and also we're just interacting with them very nicely, right? The reason, see, look at the way out that line. Perfect, right? They're obviously not all going to be great. No indicators 100%. I'm not here to tell you guys some fairy tale story. But that is how it would work functionality-wise when you actually get data coming in. What else did I want to tell you guys about this? Right. Why did I call it convergence? Because this isn't necessarily support and resistance looking off of prior levels, right? If I were to say turn this off and then get rid of my distraction, and then I wanted to mark out levels here, well, I'd say, okay, we got a prior high here that correlates to this prior low, make that white. Right, we got that going right there. So then we got these little candle bodies in this one right here. So maybe we have a little zone right in there. We have this previous high, right? We obviously have this one. We have this one back here. But now you could see how you could easily just get stuck doing this all day. I have no interest in doing that. And it doesn't necessarily give you anything in the sense of where it will go, which ones it'll go to. This convergence is because this is based off of different predictions. So it's pretty much telling you where it thinks price will converge to based off of the different predictions. So like, we'll see what the predictions are for the latest bar on the daily. Right, so now it just is predicting for Apple to converge to these levels higher, and then as we get to these levels, you could use them as a gauge of strength. Right, so now if we open up tomorrow and we just decide to fill this gap, and it actually does correlate to the gap fill too, it's always nice when these models that we make actually correlate to real things that we know are viable. Not necessarily they'll always be accurate, but that they're usable, right? So it correlates to the gap fill, and then we have these levels right here. It won't always correlate as a support and resistance. It's a convergence level. That's how I think of it. I haven't heard of it being called a convergence level. I haven't seen anything like this, and that is why I'm making it. I don't like to just kind of repackage existing stuff in a different way and call it brand new. You should buy my indicator. The only indicators worth buying are ones that actually do a lot of stuff really quickly, right? This is machine learning. Of course, it's not perfect, but nothing's perfect. But, you know, it's something like, what are you going to do? All the math right there in your head? No, that doesn't make any sense. So that's why I make these. Now, if you're interested in me and you don't want to pay for indicators, I totally understand. That's totally okay. And I'm still making stuff for you guys. So I came out with this reversals indicator not that long ago. Somebody actually told me that it works really well on these candles. And they're right. This looks a little weird. Voice broke right there. It looks a little weird. But I appreciate when you guys send me these messages so much. I appreciate it so much. You guys have no idea. But let's just click through a couple on this. Yeah. I've never even used these candles. I don't know what they're all about, but that's a cool thing that guy noticed. Yep. So there is this reversals script that I've made not too long ago. We'll look at the code for this a little bit, because you'll notice as well, I like to have user comfort be at a focus. So we don't have any inputs. You don't have to worry about your input value. I have a range of inputs, and I find the most optimal one through an SSE calculation. SSE calculations are not 100%. I'm going to put that out there. No indicator is 100%, not even mine. But so SSE stands for sum of squared errors. So what we do is we calculate, we'll get into the math to see if there actually is a reversal later on. We do the math to see if we get a reversal with each N in here. If there is, then we see how far away the price is, the actual close, to a moving average with that N value, that N look back value. Closest one wins is what this is. If there is no alert for that level, then get rid of it pretty much. So also, just to show you guys that it does change over time, what I'll do, I do have the SMA here, and it's just, yeah. What I'll do really quickly is I'll just plot SMA. Nope, I don't want to plot the SMA. I want to plot the actual N. Plot the N, and then I could just save it. So here we're at 20. Right, and back here we're at 30. It'll be more viewable on a lower time frame. 20, 35. Right, it's not incredibly sensitive, but maybe we don't want it to. Point is that it is dynamic, right? NVIDIA is at 55, so it is even dynamic, changing throughout tickers. We saw Tesla, it was always around 20. NVIDIA, we're at a higher number, right? That is why, that is where this is useful. You don't have to worry about this flipping between tickers, flipping between time frames. We're at 50, right? 50 is more optimal than 55. That is the whole point of that calculation, to get our look back values. So now let's get into the actual math about these reversals. So I'm just going to use this math here with the optimal N value, because the biggest inspiration for this code was the Hurst exponent. I have a video on my channel for the Quant Finance Advent to Code about the Hurst exponent. I think it's a great video. I think that if you guys are new to this at all, go watch the Quant Finance Advent to Code. It's 25 days of coding challenges, not really coding challenge, but coding projects. You build a lot of really cool stuff and made it so that way anybody can follow along for free. And if you don't want to use Python, you could only use it in the first video to get data. But yeah, so the X that we're using is the range of the close that we're at, minus the close of the optimal N bars back, right, from that SSE calculation. On NVIDIA was 50, around there, squared. Y is that plus the close squared. Our Z, we're going to say, is just that X over that Y. We're going to scale it just to get the number a little bit smaller, and then we're actually going to normalize it to get it between 0 and 1. So now when we have this normalized R, I called it, it'll be between 0 and 1. And this value is one that will just freak out whenever something out of the ordinary is happening, pretty much. So when the last one is at 1, because it's not correlated in the sense of like when it's falling, it'll be at 0. When it's rising, it'll be at 1. No, just whenever it's rising or falling at in a strange amount, like an out of the ordinary amount, it'll just rocket, right? So I just put a ceiling on it at 1. Whenever the last value is at 1, and the one we're at now is at 9, or 0.9, signaling something's changing, right? We had this persistent memory, and now something changed. There's our reversal. And we're determining which direction based off of our close in regards to the SMA, close relative to the previous high, and close of that, or value of that current candle. Make sure that we're in the market session and bar state is confirmed. And then we can just plot that label and give it a nice little line. Because you'll notice, and this is it here, right here on the 2-minute of today, right? I didn't cherry pick NVIDIA. You get this little line right here, kind of a little line in the sand to see if we're right or wrong. On NVIDIA right here too, pretty sweet. A lot of bearish ones. Can we get a bullish alert somewhere? Here we go. Sometimes she's a little early, sometimes she's flat out wrong. Could happen. Marking bottoms, marking little short-term tops. Right. What's a good one off the top of my head? I remember that GC futures. It was pretty solid, right? That marked that top. This one was a solid trade. This was a great trade. Ping-ponging around at this top right here. Mark that bear, mark that bear. This one was wrong, but right, pretty cool stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on all of these because this one has a lot. So also, this one is also free, totally open source. I'll show you guys my profile. See how long you guys have been following the channel. Hold on. Remember when this was Prometheus? I'm keeping the name and like the theme on these posts just for the nostalgia. But yeah, I really want you guys to get this to over 100 boosts. I really want it to be on this one. Yeah, so what is this? What is this price action suite? So I was going through a point in my life where I was just really pissed that like ICT existed. Just like I don't really care too much anymore. But I was just kind of annoyed that this one guy never posted anything about his actual trades and was like preaching that he was just like the best at what he was doing. He was this great like pioneer of these techniques. And it always just kind of bothered me, and I always hated how the trade still came down to your market discretion. Like if you just told a computer to trade off of fair value gaps, it might not do great because you still need some discretion. Right? I was looking at his models like a discretion eliminator, but no, like it was still just a manual strategy where you needed some discretion. It's as good as anything else then, right? It's as good as you are. So I just wanted to go through. And it's not to say that I'm the most transparent person. Like I closed the trade today for 20%. I just didn't tell anybody. Um, when I'm on Spaces is pretty much the only time I'll announce my positions. I always announce if it's a win or loss, but I don't want to show my sizing and anything like that online. So you know, um, I want that part of privacy, but I'll always be transparent. If I call something on Spaces, I'm taking profit here. I'm stopping out here, right? Regardless, though, back to the indicators. Yeah, so this one has a lot of different settings. We're going to go through all of them pretty quickly, right? Let's get these a little bit more visible. Here we go. Yeah, this is fine. It's a good thing I sold this one in the morning. That's what the trade was on. Entered on that low, just sold on that high. Yeah, I think I chose one of the only tech names to finish the day red. Whatever. So yeah, we have these absorption zones here. These absorption zones are pretty much just marking. We'll look at the code too. And it's open source, right? So just because I don't know where it actually is, all the way at the bottom, it seems to be. We want the largest body size for the absorption look back, and whenever we have a change, you could adjust the settings for pretty much every single what is the word? You can adjust the settings for every setting, right? Just the settings for every single thing that the script does. Right, so it looks for notable candle bodies, and here is how they look. I don't want to dwell too much about each one because we'd be here all day. There's 9 of them, or 8 of them. Yeah, 8 of them. But yeah, looking for changes in the biggest candle body. So a lot of the times when you just have these huge moves like this will just be the one that you see. Clearly not always. I'm not even entirely certain why I wrote this so long ago. I'm not even entirely certain what I was looking in for that. Furthermore, though, if we go down for this candle wick strategy, this is kind of like a power of 3 thing-ish, because that was one of the things that I really liked from his teaching, actually. But I'm not taking credit at all for power of 3. I didn't come up with it. Let me see how I defined it here in the code. If you want to see a more detailed explanation of this, there's the whole thing written out right here for you to go look at. Let me just take a look for the, right here. Because we have this body midpoint, or we have these deliveries I had right here. So we need an up bar, then we need an up bar, a down bar, a high greater than that wick, a high wick greater than the size of the wick above, greater than the wick below, and then the next candle to be bigger, right? There's a lot of these little things. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I want to show you guys, like, this is what it looks like, right? When you actually go on the chart, this white line would be the actual optimal entry. So like wait for that entry. Don't just get in at the correct spot, pretty much is what that is saying. I don't really want to spend too much time on each one because this video is already 20 minutes. So here we have a swing structure based on candle size. It's a bit more dynamic than the absorption zones going off of the actual size, but of course there's a bunch of other rules in it, like highs and lows and stuff like that, wick size, candle body size, structure theory, bit more infrequent, but we see one over here. Do you see another one anywhere? Yeah, we just see a few at the top over here. You guys can read into how I come to all of these conclusions in the open source script. Swing structure, we have it down here, pretty cool. I think I was looking more towards, I'm not even going to pretend like I remember. I think I wrote this when Prometheus was a thing. This was a premium indicator for Prometheus. So that was probably 2 summers ago. These fractal boxes, this was a weird idea I had. My chair shrunk too. This was a weird idea I had after reading this book, The Misbehavior of Markets by Benoit Mandelbrot. Amazing book. He was just talking about shapes and just talking about boxes. And I was like, I'm just going to take it at face value. And so I just coded this. And I was like, I like this. And this, I haven't seen anything like it. So you can specify, where do I have this? Linear regression, potential move width for the box. Why would you like the lines for the box? I think I just had, yeah, for the box, yeah. So you could, like if that was 20, then you can see there's just less space in between them. And revert everything back to, I'm not going to revert everything back to the default because then I'll have to uncheck everything. 30, right? It'll just be based off of this, whatever happens over here, obviously minus the first candle, just the highs and lows of that. Just we're going to spread it out. We're going to put it into this box. We're going to draw a box with those prior levels. Of course, you can read all the literal details later on. And then we're going to trade based on that, right? If we just see price stay in the box, then there's no trade. If we see price just kind of go to the side, there's no trade. But price breaks out of the box, there could be the trade. Price breaks down from the box, there could be trades. We have a potential move width that's based on prior speed. This one was actually pretty accurate right here. Yeah, a bit of a weird one. I think it's just very visually pleasing too. Right here, we're actually pretty accurate. If net reverses right here, it's pretty dang accurate. And then the next one is just a simple linear regression. Just a linear regression line. You know, I think that way I was thinking about it was if somebody was trading this based off of just candles and absorption zone, swing structure and absorption zones maybe. You would like to see some strength, right? Like we're in the absorption zone and the linear regression goes above. Okay, so maybe this is a short rather than a long because we got this linear regression cross. I don't know, right? I was just kind of giving you guys the option. I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm not telling you how to pick your indicators. But this is how I made mine. I'm going to show you guys the next one I have coming out too. This is a one from Gann. It's a Gann predictions indicator, Gann. I believe it was a man's name. I want to say William. I have a tab open over here. I'm just going to look up Gann. William Delbert Gann was a great trader. And this one uses, I'm not going to, yeah, I'll post that anyway sometime soon, but it uses the same SSE calculation as the other one to get the Gann wave and the Gann ratios and stuff like that, and then give us a prediction. Not necessarily a prediction, but give us this kind of, this line that's not necessarily moving average, right? It's a little bit more dynamic than that. That's what's coming out next. What's also coming out next is, I don't really like to talk about things until they're really set in stone, but something that I'm making, something that I've been making is done in terms of functionality and business logic. I'm sorry for dropping you right there. My stand was on top of a wire. It's done in terms of functionality and business logic, and it behaves the way I want it to, and everything's linked up. I just have to actually ship it. And before I do that, I need to make sure that the legal stuff is all correct. I need to make sure that my terms and conditions, my privacy policy, disclaimers, trademarks, I need to make sure that all that is good. So in contact with some cool and smart people to do that. Around the time that comes out, I'm going to come out with the Discord as well that you could like invite yourself to from the website pretty much. And then, yeah, there'll be that website, and that'll have a lot of free stuff for it as well. And I want to have guests on it in a really cool way. So I want to see if I could get some really cool people to write some really cool stuff for you guys. I think it'll be awesome. I think it'll be great. I think you guys are going to love it. I think that people that don't want to sign up for it for the full price will also enjoy it and also have a lot of value. I want to build a community before I just try to shove products down your throat. There's no point if I don't have an actual community, but yeah, this has been a 25-minute video. I kind of just been yapping a little bit. I think that I'm gonna make a video. The next video I have planned is probably how to avoid burnout, even though I'm not the best at it. I might just record it right after this, honestly. Um, that's the only idea I have, is how to avoid burnout. If you guys want any specifically technical videos, drop them in the comments. But I'm not really all that sure what to go off of. You know, I had 25 videos in a row that were all unique enough, right? Um, yeah, not entirely sure because I know I want to write it and go. I'm not sure if you guys want to write it and go. Um, trying to think of different languages too. Maybe some stuff in Zig. I don't know if I want to learn Zig. I don't think I want to learn Rust. I don't think I want to go any further with Rust. I think I just want to code Go, just code my types and just make them do things, and then just call it a day. um, yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, thank you guys so much for just all the support with me and just all the interaction. I really appreciate it. My X will be in the description. Oh, my guitar is looking at me. My guitar is looking at me. I'm gonna also come out with some music eventually. I think some deathcore with no vocals. I think I'll do that pretty soon. Oh man, just do things, guys. Just do things. Don't let yourself hold you back, right? Don't let nothing hold you back. Just do things that you want to do, and then do more things that you want to do. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment any suggestions or anything that you guys want. Links to my TradingView account and my Lux Algo Creator Partnership and my X will all be in the description. Thank you guys for the support. I'll catch you guys later.